welcome to the Healing Hearth. My name is Elizabeth. This here is Gomez, and we're here for a weekly tarot forecast video. I just kind of take the pulse of the collective and see what you need to know for your highest and best good and all those involved for this week coming ahead. I did a weekend ahead video that kind of elapsed into Monday. I'm filming this on Monday, so you know, time's just a construct, so whenever you find this reading, it's for you. I'm sure there's a message in here somewhere for you. And with that, let's get started and do a little prayer. I'd like to invite you to ground and center your energy. If you can put your feet on the floor, great. If not, no biggie. We take a deep breath in and let it go. Ooh. We root ever deeper into the earth, Mother Earth Gaia. We thank her for her loving support and wisdom, and for always giving us what we need at any given moment. I ask that all the masters, teachers, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, power animals be welcomed into this space. We thank you for your wisdom and your messages, and I ask that I only be a most divine and crystal clear channel for your message of all those involved. I set the sacred container in a beautiful white light that anyone who may be watching this video is protected and healed in some way, some shape or form. I ask that any envy, self-betrayal, jealousy, self-denial, negative entities be released at this time. This is only a container for loving light and purity of message. Honesty, integrity fills this space. Beauty fills this space. We ask Spirit permission to read and to do the work. Granted. Okay, so I feel this in my solar plexus. I feel yellow, the sun, right? So this is all about, this week I think is going to boat us a lot of confidence in ourselves and what we have to say and what we have to give and offer to others and also to ourselves. A gift is a really big word that's ringing about. So I feel like there might be a gift or maybe some like money in the mail, or like you find like a 20 on the sidewalk this week. Just a lot of abundance and excitement this week, I feel like. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of clarity that's found this week. You might be like hung up on a predicament earlier in the week, and then it gets resolved by the end of the week, and that gives you a lot of confidence moving forward, and that's your gift. It's like a gift of knowledge. So, you know, there might be a little bit of surprise for every one of us. Okay, the energy today. We have the Five of Cups. This is kind of a card that's an invitation to reframe your mind and how you see your environment, right? So she's looking at the poured cups and like mourning over like the spilled milk, but she still has two over here. In the classic Rider-Waite tarot, if you notice in the colors, there's actually one of the cups that actually pours a different color representing poison. And so it's like, this is the end of a chapter of a cycle for you. And it's like almost like you're being asked to reframe. You're missing the old that didn't serve, the old that you outgrew. Even if you're not ready to come to terms with that in that most literal term, this is actually an offering for something better along the line. Like maybe you're disappointed that a job didn't work out, or maybe, you know, like someone that you thought was really promising as a romantic partner ends up like not actually following through and not being who you thought they were, and you're kind of in the like woe is me, like mourning that didn't pan out exactly the way that you were hoping to. Or maybe like, you know, like a friend you thought you could rely on, you're finding you actually can't rely on this person in the way that you had thought you could. And it's like that sort of betrayal is like an invitation to show you that like rejection is divine protection. Something better is going to come along, something that's more suited to someone, or something that's more suited to your needs and who you are as a person. Okay. In our challenge, we have the Five of Swords and the Eight of Wands. They're both in reverse. you don't need to prepare for what ifs. Someone has like some, not anxiety, but like a nagging mother voice in their mind. Because if you notice, like all the shameful voices that are in our heads, they're never our own. They're usually like little recorded snippets of certain people in our lives that said something that kind of shifted us into our place, right? It's not the place that makes us happiest, it's like putting us in our place. And so it's like that kind of energy is our challenge, where those pre-recorded snippets are kind of running on loop in your mind of like, oh, well, you shouldn't do this, or you should always do this, and like what's wrong with you, like this displacement. And you're being challenged with like kind of being stuck in those thoughts, being stuck in that mindset of like not being able to like move out of it. And so maybe this is like the regret is like you're with the situation, right? The situation that didn't pan out. You're kind of like, what's wrong with me? Like, why didn't I see this coming? Why wasn't I prepared? Like, why didn't I see this hurt and this betrayal sooner? But the truth is that like karma is a tool. It's like to make us learn, to make us grow. You can't always know what's coming for you. Like, you don't always know what's coming your way until it's there, and then that's a lesson for you to learn and a lesson for you to grow. The invitation, the Nine of Swords in the reverse. So I feel like this is something that's really keeping you up at night. It's really keeping you up at night, and I think that this is kind of, this whole week is going to give you a lot of peace of mind, I feel. Yeah, look at that. This card, this isn't even a tarot. This is the Ten of Swords picture, but everything is fine. Like, you don't actually need to beat yourself up for it. I think you're going to see, like, the silver lining of this, the Five of Pentacles, right? We have 5, 5, 5. The only 5 that we're missing is the 5 of Cups. Or, no, I'm sorry. We have 5 of Cups. We have 5 of Swords. We have 5 of Pentacles. We're missing the 5 of Wands, right? And so when we're missing that that gridlock of action, I feel like this is more of an introspective, like more of an internal conversation, where you're realizing that I just feel like you're going to come to peace with whatever's plaguing you at the moment. The energy around you is really grounded, right? And it's asking you to take a rather slow approach to it. Like, you don't have to solve all your problems like today. This is going to be like over a couple days or a couple weeks thing, where it's like all the pieces and the information is going to come together, and you're going to have that aha, I see what it is. And you're being asked to like really find some calm in the storm. You know what I mean? We have the Three of Cups, and I think that this is what I was saying. It's going to invite in more people and more situations that can match your energy and like where you're going and who you are as a person, right? This is a lot of cards. Okay, so we got the Lovers in the reverse, Judgment in the reverse. We got the World card, right? An end. Page of Cups in the reverse, Seven of Swords in the reverse, Ace of Cups in the reverse, and the Chariot in the reverse. Stop. Just stop judging yourself, and stop judging yourself for falling for someone who didn't have your best interests. It's okay. That's like a lesson to learn, right? You're not the first person that you're with, or the second person, or like, oh, I really thought this person was the one. It's not bad if it doesn't work out. It's just a lesson. It's just a growth. Maybe if you keep falling for someone, you find yourself in this repetitive pattern of like, God, why do I keep falling for someone who is X? Like, why do I keep believing empty promises? Why do I keep, like falling a sucker, And it's kind of like, look at yourself like from, if you can, remove yourself and look at like outsider looking in, like a wise sage in your family, or like some sort of elder, where you're looking at it compassionately and being like, you know what, you keep falling for someone who, promises you the world because you want to be taken care of. And when that person can't hold your world single-handedly themselves, the World card, right? The second that they can't hold your whole world, and it's like, and they promised that to you, that's on them. They made empty promises, and that's something that they have to deal with. That's their karma. But it's like, let's look at ourselves, right? It's like, why do I want someone to promise me the world? Why do I want someone to be my everything? Because no one can be someone's everything. There's like a balance there, right? And it's not like you're not bringing things to the table, but it's like almost like you're like blind, like you're kind of gaslighting yourself, because it feels very like, oh, I should have known, and like shame on me, and I'm just gonna keep falling for those same people because that's what I want, because I haven't healed that wound. I haven't healed that wound of like, I what matters to me is someone's actions matching their words. What matters to me is someone showing up. And you know what, like, I can love and trust, but I want to see that person show up for me consistently before I, fall head over heels. I'm not going to ignore the red flags anymore. I'm not going to, avoid knowing the truth just because it's a little unpleasant, a little inconvenient, or if it points out the fact that I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I feel really alone right now. I feel really unheard. And when I see someone hear my problems, not my problems, but like the things that plague me, the things that, I ask for support, or things that I need, and someone is like, yes, I hear you, there's that hope. And that hope, right, we had I just put all the cards away, but the Ace of Cups in the reverse, it's like almost all that hope gets spilled out because their actions can't match their words. They're promising you the world when they have no business doing that, right? And I don't think that's something that you need to feel bad about. I think it's like, there's like a certain pattern of friendships, jobs, and romantic partners that you fall into where it's like the same thing over and over again, and it's like you're being hard on yourself of like, when do I learn this lesson? When do I learn this lesson? And it's like, now, you can learn it now. Why don't you look at it and see the root of it? And I think that introspection can be really painful at times, but I truly believe that is the most healing thing to do, is to be authentic and honest with yourself, to see where you're coming from. Seven of Swords in the reverse. Let's see what this is. I feel like there's a situation coming through. Hierophant in the reverse. Nine of Cups in the reverse. This feels, you know what I'm feeling? It feels like very like stuck. It feels very like stabby in the back. Like someone does something kind of shady. Like they said one thing and their actions did another, and that was really painful. And we have to remember that we're meeting, it's things that people do aren't necessarily to us, but it feels like it's to us, right? And it feels kind of like I just don't like this. I feel like someone does something shady, not out of malicious intent, but just because they made a promise that they couldn't keep, right? Like they they said something in hyperbole or in hypothetical that it's like, oh, I give you the world. Be like, okay, great, can you help me change my tire? And then they're like, I actually don't know how to do that. I don't drive. Like some shit like that, right? Where it's like out of left field. Like that's obviously a very surface level analogy, but that's what I mean. Like that sort of a thing happening where it's like, you need to look at these people in these situations honestly and meet them where they're at. Like, where are they at? Do they have any business promising you this agreement, this commitment right now? Are they in a place? Are you in a place? Okay, so we got Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands in the reverse, and we got the Eight of Wands in the reverse. So we got 9-9, which is like a major abundance, right? And so it's kind of like when you stop crying over the spilt milk, when you stop feeling bad about the situation, it's going to be the greatest gift to you. That might be the greatest gift to you, because you're going to start to see how you're only going to start accepting people that match where you're at. You're going to be able to start practicing and seeing where other people are at and meeting them there. But there's also this other side of like, no, you know what, I know I deserve better. No, you know what, I see through this bullshit. That kind of a thing. Where it's like a very much stop and see that like there's abundance around you. It's not woe is me. It's like you have all these opportunities, but because of this wound, because of this inner child wound, this reparenting task that you have, I mean, and I say it as a task because, you know, it's all our own obligations to heal, to grow, to learn to embrace those growths. But once you do that, you're gonna see, like, and I love this little bird on her hat, that you have like everything at your disposal around you. Anything that you could possibly wish for, you can have. We're missing the Nine of Swords, so I feel like this is more of like an emotional intelligence and like following through on your emotions. Maybe you've been just like flying off the handle with like falling for someone that you know is not your in your best interest. But I feel like this is like a whole new start. On the bottom of the deck we got the Fool, right? This is a whole new beginning. Once you realize this and you realize that you've had the strength the whole time to be able to say and like say what's acceptable for you and to be able to set that boundary. Queen of Swords in reverse and the Justice card. It's like things are gonna feel a lot more fair because you're actually standing up for yourself. You're actually advocating for yourself. And I'm not saying this in like an aggressive way where it's like you need to fight. No, I'm saying this in a way that's like once you start saying like, no, this is not acceptable, no fault to you, but it's just not how I feel, like this is not in my best interest, it's gonna not only empower you into bringing into this life what you really love and desire, but it's also going to teach a major lesson to other people, and it's going to teach people that it's like it's okay to say your truth, you know, like you don't have to like feel bad and beat yourself up for lost mistakes. If you just like, not lost mistakes, I don't really mean that, but like you don't have to beat yourself up for things that you perceive as mistakes when they're really just lessons. Like the lesson is the productive part. The beating yourself up, the suffering is like a perspective. We don't need to do that. That's like self-inflicted. And how much do you love yourself? Do you love yourself enough to pull yourself out of that self-criticism spiral and advocate for yourself? If you can't love yourself enough to save yourself, then like, are you in a place where you can love other people? That's heavy. Okay. Let's see. All right, I'm pulling from the Divine Abundance, so like how we can bring more abundance into our lives because of the nines, right? Okay. We got love. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation, only love itself. What did I say? What did I say? Isn't that beautiful? It's that little rosebud blooming. You know, we gotta nurture ourselves. We also have hummingbirds here saying, which are like little heavenly messengers, right? The universe can use like the smallest little tool to make us slow down and like take a breath in order to give us, and that breath is the gift of reframing our mind, reshifting our focus. Right now, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled each moment. Yeah, so this is that slow down and stop. Like we don't need to be like beating ourselves up because that's robbing ourselves of the present moment, right? Detachment. With detachment, you finally feel whole inside with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled, right? So it's like, I think this is like the woe is me, detaching from the woe is me script in our minds, right? And right action. Aparigraha, oh, forgive me, I butchered that. Aparigraha literally means let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come, right? So this is about like these people, these situations, these jobs, these friends that can't meet your vibe. Let them go, because there's going to be something that comes better. Like don't be attached to like my life is going to look a certain way with these specific people. It's like, when you have like goals or like a vision board, it's like best to build it to something that's like, I want more love in my life, not like I want this specific person in this specific way for them to show up in this specific way, because that doesn't allow for like flow and for freedom and for openness, for change, for surprises. Who doesn't want surprises? And ease. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. It is easy for me to receive. There's nothing to be afraid about. It's cool. Also, the karma card was under that, but I don't feel like reading it because I think I talked about that, right? That's someone else's karma. And now we'll go to the self-care sacred oracle deck. How can we care for ourselves this week moving forward? Okay. You got ground yourself and spend time with animals, right? So again, I think this is like taking that breath, taking that pause, and like a quick reframe on the bottom. It's like, look for fairies, like look for the look for fairies, which is basically like look for the magic at any moment. Fairies also help with cleanliness, so maybe some of you are doing a little bit of cleaning. If you can't leave your house and you're just feeling a little restless, like maybe this is keeping you up. You might be finding yourself doing some late night laundry or late night mopping, whatever floats your boat. And with that, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for allowing me to hold space with you. As I said before, if you're interested in a one-on-one reading with me, you can book that through my website, healinghearth.net. I will put that in the description. And if you haven't already, please follow me or like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I appreciate the love and support. Book with me through my website, one-on-one tarot readings, where we just do a Zoom video call, or I do written reports too, as I said before. So with that, I want to bless all of you and thank you for your presence. I want to thank all your spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and spirit team, power animals, for all showing up here and helping me deliver the message that is for the highest and best good. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.